Hey everyone, hopefully you're having a good day. My name's Andy. My channel is Finding Value. Today we're going to do our daily technical analysis of oil, natural gas, and solar. Oil's still holding on. It looks good. And natural gas, we're getting a little bit of a pullback in the commodity of natural gas. And then solar. Solar's looking good. Solar is looking very good. The chart patterns look great. And I'll show you what they look like. We'll draw on them a little bit. And I got some weekly candlestick patterns on solar, so it's nice and clear. You should be able to see these patterns very well, and hopefully I can describe them well enough where you can see it. Again, this is just my financial opinion. Please don't use it as advice. And here we go in oil, natural gas, and solar. So here is oil. We broke out of this pattern here. We've got a line that goes across. Nope, still have that. We have a line that goes across here. We are coming up to this resistance line. There it is. And we have not broken it. We've hit it again, hit it again. We have sold off a little bit. Where's this thing going to go? It's a tough call. We have a large down candlestick here, two smaller candlesticks coming up, but they have wicks at the bottom. It's like a standoff between the sellers and buyers here. Because usually when you have a wick at the bottom, it wants to continue higher. We've got two wicks, so in a big down day. It's the sellers and buyers dueling it out here at resistance. So we'll have to wait and see how this resolves itself. We could come up and touch this and then head lower. Maybe we break through. It's a tough spot, and that's why I don't like trading short term. I like taking kind of a long-term perspective and just riding it up. And if it comes back down, it doesn't really matter to me because I can just ride it on higher later. And here's natural gas. Natural gas has a little bit of a sell-off here. This is a bearish kind of engulfing pattern. Came back up, almost like a short-term double top maybe. But this thing has been surprising at the 50-day, and it's been holding, right before. SM Energy, today it released earnings, popped higher, 7%. Kind of a black candlestick. Not too sure where this thing's going to go, but we've got support underneath it at 30 bucks. I'm not doing anything with my shares. Looks okay. Centennial Development Resource. It's a down day, but a wick at the bottom. Doesn't look too bad. Big buying pressure, smaller selling pressure. Depends what oil does over the next week or so. Callon Petroleum, again, a little hammer pattern going on. Kind of a cup and handle pattern that's developing. I think it looks pretty good. Hopefully oil can move higher in natural gas in the upcoming weeks, and these patterns will break to the upside. Crescent Point, usually when you get a wick at the bottom like this, usually, it's got some good strong buyers underneath it. So let's see if the buyers hold this thing up. We've got good support. Let me go back to this one. We got good support underneath here from right, 480 or so. So let's see if that thing holds. We have Northern Oil and Gas. Again, this one's got nice big buying pressure, a little bit of stronger selling pressure coming up. We could see a little bit bigger pullback, highly dependent on what oil and natural gas does. Support underneath, $21-ish, somewhere in there. Tellurian looks great. We've got good buying pressure all through here, small selling pressure through here. I mean, if it can break through here, it's already broken to the upside. I think this could run. Looks good. And recaf looks like it's trying to find some footing where it's at. Maybe we can kind of base out here and start moving on up eventually. Looking across, we've got some support in here. Grand Tier Energy looks good. Nice little, it tried selling off today, got bought back up and finished very strong. Nice big hammer pattern. We could see this move on up. Big buying pressure, small selling pressure, looks good. Crew Energy, way to go, Crew. Nice big buying pressure in the front, small selling pressure, big bullish, kind of almost engulfing type. Maybe not engulfing, but it's a hammer pattern. I think we're probably going to head higher in Crew Energy. Looks good. And Sandridge, bouncing back and forth. We've got a bullish engulfing here, bullish engulfing here. We have some sellers in here above 13 bucks. Kind of a little battle going on here between the buyers and sellers. On Comstock Resources, a little bit of a pullback. Maybe we develop a pattern here that just goes back and forth a little bit. Now, TAN looks really good. We broke this support area through here at 92.50. That was a resistance line, now is a support line, and we're moving on higher. It broke. Looks fantastic. Here's Beam. Beam got the bloody nose today. So what happens is you have a large white candlestick body. We call that a person, and then it gets a little bloody nose. I called it yesterday with the bloody nose. Now, looking at the weekly candlestick chart of Beam, this thing looks fantastic. It does. It looks really good. Big buying pressure coming up through here. Small selling pressure coming back down. It basically came to a dead period, and we got this big up day, or big up week. This is a weekly candlestick. Big up week where we could head higher. It looks like we're breaking the downtrend line. Let me copy this real quick and get this going here so I can draw all over it. But this is looking pretty good. There's kind of, well, let me draw it down here a little bit more. That's what I mean by the break. And this is on a weekly candlestick. And this guy you can draw there, it's kind of starting to come on up. And then all through here, you get big buying pressure over here where you come up, it pulls back, comes up, pulls back. That is the trait of an upward move. And I think we're going to come up and keep doing that type of move. So it looks good. Looks good for Beam on a weekly candlestick basis. And here's N phase on a weekly candlestick basis. This thing also looks pretty dang good. So I'll just put that on there. We'll draw on it. What I see here is a pattern that broke. There it is. Broke to the upside. I think we're going to move probably higher. Looks really, really good. So that's N phase there. And these are all in the TAN ETF. Here's Sunworks. Sunworks, if you look at the way this thing is, notice that we've got big buying pressure, big volume all coming up. Slow leak off of sellers. The up days are bigger than the selling days. I think we're going to come to a dead period right here and then move higher. That's at least what I'm hoping. So that one looks good. SOL is doing the exact thing. Big buying pressure, slow leak off of sellers, came to a dead period, and then now we're moving higher. So that one looks good. And we'll probably maybe put a cup pattern here. That's what I'm hoping. SunPower also looks like a cup pattern, almost like a cup. Now, I bet you this big old one could be a cup in front of it. And what I did is I looked at it, and these are all in the TAN ETF, all these solar companies. Here is that cup and handle pattern that's developing. It's a really big one. And I think the potential here could be quite large over time if you're pretty patient. You know, we break this up here, we could see a nice big move higher. This is a launching pad base that I've seen before a really big move. It's going to take some years for this to develop, but it's going to be a very big move. It's probably going to break the highs over here quite easily. And we're seeing that in all of the solar companies. So that's what we're seeing. That's what the charts look good. Solar looks really strong. I think oil looks good too. Natural gas, a little bit of weakness there. But overall, the energy sector as a whole is doing quite well. And solar, guys, the solar is looking good. And I know some of you guys don't like solar. That's fine. But I'm gonna put the charts in front of you. You guys can do what you want with it because they look incredibly well. And if we have energy problems and they're going to dump trillions of dollars into it, I mean, maybe we're at peak oil and we're going to have to dump all this money into alternative energy. And if that's the case, that's where all the money's going to flow. While oil gets incredibly expensive and natural gas and other energy sources. So energy looks great. If you guys like this content, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And thank you for listening. This is Finding Value.